Hey everybody, hi. So now we're going to do the second part of our sourdough bread. We made the levain earlier, and as you can see, they have risen considerably and look very healthy. There's lots of air bubbles in there. That's the original line. That was my whole wheat. This is my rye. And this is my white that took longer to take off than all the other ones. And like I said before, if you use whole grains in your sourdough, the yeast loves that. There's more minerals and enzymes available for it to grow. So I'm going to put the white and the rye aside for now. I'm going to make that later. And I'm going to make the whole wheat, which is the same one on your recipes. So the first thing is I put the water, and you know I like my water to be about 90 degrees. I did check that. And it's 350 grams of mils of water. I put a little bit more in if I'm going to add seeds. I might put a little bit more in, but 350 grams of water. And I'm going to add all of my whole wheat levain. That's my production levain, and I'm going to add it all and see how nicely that comes out of the container. Nearly all comes out. Actually, if you just add flour and water back to that dirty container, you'll have another starter tomorrow. And I'm just going to ush it up, and I like to use my fingers a bit, you know that, because there's lots of yeast on your hands, and you retain more of it. The more you bake, the more yeast you have on your hands. Apparently it's 70 times more yeast on a baker's hands than on a civilian's hand. Anyway, I'm going to press tear. So now my starter and my water are all mixed up together, and I'm going to take my salt. It calls for 15 grams of salt, 15 grams of salt. That's a tablespoon. And I'm going to add that to my whole wheat flour and just mix it around. And the whole wheat flour is 3/4 cup or 112 grams. And I'm going to add that flour to my white flour, and look at the unapologetic Snowcap commercial on the jug here. So I've got my flour, white flour, 500 grams, which is 3 cups. My brown flour, stone ground whole wheat flour, 112 grams, which is just around 3/4 cup. And my salt, all mixed up. And I'm going to pour it right into my bowl of warm water and starter. And I'm just going to start to stir it up like this. Just bring my spatula around. You can do it by hand if you want. And I'm going to moisten all of the flour in that. So I'm kind of turning the bowl anti-clockwise and lifting up the spatula at the same time, making sure I go right into the center, and then I'll go the other way. And then I'll go the other way. And this is the no-knead style of bread. We're relying on time to develop the gluten, so I'm not too worried about kneading it until the gluten develops. I don't actually want the gluten to develop now through mechanical means. I want the gluten to develop over time and hydration and the symbiotic action of the bacterial acids in the sourdough starter. And so I'm just going to scrape off my spatula with my green scraper. Any color scraper will do, by the way. And just going to make sure that my sides are clean here, and then with a wet hand, I always keep a jug of water. I'm just going to turn that over 4 or 5 times. The dough feels lovely. It feels like my earlobe. So if you're ever worried about the texture of your dough, for a basic bread, you want it to feel like your earlobe. For other kinds of bread, it can be more or less. So you see, it pulls apart. That's fine. We don't want to develop any gluten. And I just pat it with some water like that. And that is all I'm going to do right now. That's mixed up my dough. Then I'm going to find my favorite colored shower cap, which happens to be orange today. And I'm just going to put a shower cap over. One of the things I want to do before I put this away, I want to test the temperature. And I'm looking for a temperature of between 74 and 78. And I think that 77 is great right now. And because the yeast likes the warm water, the warm environment to grow in. And that's why, especially this time of year, I warm up the water a little bit out of the tap to 90, 91. When I add the cold flour, then it's going to equalize and hit the mark around 76, 77, which is a great temperature. Now, in an hour, I'm going to organize that dough, and because it's quite late at night now, it's 20 to 8, I will then put it in the fridge, and I will do the baking process tomorrow, which is available in another video. But here is the dough I did a couple of hours ago, and I want to show you what I do after this dough has sat for an hour. I'm going to take the dough, and you can see that it's developed its own gluten just by sitting, and I'm going to do 8 turns like that. And I'm going to turn the whole thing over, make it into a nice ball. If you feel any unmixed flour at this time, just take a couple of fingers and just go down into your dough and work it out. That's all you need. Then I'm going to pat that with water again. And this one, I'm going to leave out for about 20-30 minutes for the yeast to start working again, the sourdough yeast, natural yeast to start working again. Then I'm going to put it in the fridge until the morning. And this one, I'm going to stretch and fold it in an hour. Again, leave it out and put it in the fridge until the morning. Anyway, hope that was clear. And we'll see you on the next video. Happy baking, everyone.